My sincere apologies for not marching with you today. I fully support your efforts to keep Tesco's from opening a shop on Mill Road. By marching today, you're sending a clear message, not only to Tesco's but to the government, that more needs to be done to protect our local shops. Best of luck, and I hope to see you at future events. Next, from Romsey Labour Party. This campaign is a demonstration of the wonderful community spirit of the Mill Road area. It shows why Tesco isn't wanted here and that people power can prevail. In solidarity and comradeship, Romsey Labour Party. From Romsey Action. The huge groundswell of support generated by the No Mill Road Tesco campaign couldn't place any clearer spotlight on the critical issues that face independent trade on Mill Road. Romsey Action wholeheartedly supports any effort that fosters diversity and vibrancy in community, trade and commerce along this important Cambridge thoroughfare. Now, 3 messages from other Tesco campaigns. First of all, from the Saffron Walden and District Friends of the Earth. We send you our support. Preserve your local shops as we have tried to do in our town. Keep Mill Road local. There are enough supermarkets in Cambridge. From Keep Cuffley Rural. Message of support from the home village of the Tesco Chief Executive, Terry Leahy. David and fellow campaigners have been fighting off the planned Tesco in their village for some time, and they have offered to do whatever they can to support our campaign here in Cambridge. Finally, from the Keep Chiltern Interesting Group, which has been campaigning since March against the application to build a Tesco Express in Chiltern, Manchester, and is a coalition of local people, councillors and independent retail businesses. Last Thursday, we won an important step forward in the campaign against the Tesco application. The Council Planning Department's recommendation was to approve the application, but following our campaign, the Planning Committee councillors voted unanimously for a minded to refuse motion. We still have a lot of work to do, but this was an important victory. We take heart from Finchley, where the Council's decision to refuse a Tesco Express was upheld by the Planning Inspectorate. We can and will win, so will your campaign. I'd like to hand you over first of all to Councillor Ian Nimmo-Smith, the leader of the Council.
Thank you very much, and you'll be pleased to know I plan to keep my speech. I plan to keep my speech very short because today is not the weather for talking, it's for walking, I think.
Yes.
First of all, I need to say my involvement here as leader of Cambridge City Council is entirely independent of how the planning application. My involvement here as leader of Cambridge City Council is quite separate from the planning decision, which will be made by a committee of councillors under the established and agreed planning policies of the council and other material matters. Some of the issues that are being raised here, I see on the banners, to do with congestion and noise and traffic, are entirely appropriate matters for that committee to be considering. But it's an oddity that in fact the most serious aspect of the prospect of Tesco opening a store on Mill Road is actually something that the planning committee itself will not be able to take into account. And that is our great concern, that the erosion of a really valuable and unique collection of independent stores providing a huge range of different services can get marginalised, can lose their viability, and we might lose here in this part of Cambridge what is a really important resource for the local community. What we're trying to do here is to turn back the possibility that the law of unintended consequences might come to bear in this area of Mill Road. I've had a number of people write to me saying that this protest and what you're trying to do will disadvantage people in Mill Road who want to shop at a Tesco store but don't have the transport or mobility. The simple answer to this is to the point of research done by your campaign group. Shopping at a Tesco Express store is not the same as visiting one of the Tesco superstores. Prices are higher, and even some basic economy own brand lines are not available. My involvement in this campaign is not just a blanket opposition to Tesco. I've seen actually the contribution that they've brought in some areas of Cambridge where the provision of shops has actually been completely eroded. And in Tim's Hedges, in East Chesterton, in Cherry Hinton, there are Tesco Express stores which are actually making a valuable contribution and providing services to their local communities. But here in Mill Road, I don't think we are stepping out of line of wanting to resist the prospect of the advance of Clone Town and Ghost Town Britain, which I think is actually a very real prospect that would come from the opening of the store. I read on the website of Tesco that their core values are that no one tries harder for customers and that they treat people how they like to be treated. I don't think that is quite how we see things, and we have a different perspective on the kind of corporate responsibility that they should bring to bear. I think we need to turn round Tesco's motto, and every little helps is what we can do to bring to this campaign, and a great deal will come about by everybody pulling together to resist what is a very serious threat to the area. We don't want to have to look back and say with Joni Mitchell, we didn't know what we'd got till it had gone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, can I just ask you to stop this? I've got it. Right, thank you very much, Councillor Rosemary. I'm going to hand you over now to Councillor Ben Brannack.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's better. Thank you, all of you, for coming. My name's Ben Brannack. I represent Petersfield Ward on the City Council. I have to say that as a City Councillor, I don't think the City Council is likely to do you any great favours, because the planning rules which govern whether this actually goes ahead or not are not ones which in the end are likely to protect your interests. I think really this is a case, and you here represent this case, of a community which functions as a community. It is, and in my experience, I've been a councillor in this area for 16 years, it is the community organisations which are particular to this area, whether it's the East Mill Road Community Group, or the Mill Road Community Action Group, or the Residents Associations, or Romsey Action, whether it's the individuals who help those organisations to function, and the large number of really significant contributions that are made by individuals to this local community. I think it's the local community which in the end is fighting this battle and will fight this battle, and you may win simply because of the force that you're prepared to bring to it. I don't think in the end it is going to be the council that will win this battle. It will be yours, your win, if you win it. And I think, therefore, the question of whether you're prepared to take this right to the end of the road, to the extent of not being willing to shop there, in the end may be what will win against an organisation which has done its market research. I've often asked them whether they're prepared to reveal it. They've never been willing to. But their market research simply picks off, atomizes the world in which we live. You, as a community, are a gathered community which can make a collective effort to impose your idea of this community on Tesco's, rather than Tesco's imposing their idea on you. So that's what we're here for, and I hope we shall go on and win.